Hey guys, Peter here to tell you about the latest from Dimmu Borgir, Inspiratio Profanus, out December 8th on Nuclear Blast. This record has 8 tracks, 32 minutes in length, and it is an all covers compilation by this iconic Norwegian symphonic black metal band. A band that's celebrating 30 years of existence, and that is the reason for this record. At least one of the reasons. I honestly feel like there's 2 reasons behind this release. I like the idea of putting together a covers record in order to celebrate this incredible milestone, because it allows you to see with this specific record the origins of the bands that influenced them to become who they currently are. So instead of releasing a greatest hits or a live album, which is just a compilation of their discography, you're seeing a little bit more before that. You're seeing the origin story of the band on a record format. The other aspect of this album that really works for me is that you put all of these songs that they had recorded before in one single place with one single resource. So now you don't have to float around and looking for them. You know you can go into this record and you can listen to all of them in one single place. I think that's a great idea. It really narrows things down and it puts it in a more cohesive perspective. It presents it better to the fans. Now once you start pressing play and listening to these songs, you can find that there are elements of this record that create a sense of cohesiveness throughout the entire album. Even though there are songs that obviously have a different DNA to them, and one that has a very specific DNA is Dead Men Don't Rape by G.G.F.H. Obviously more industrial, more electronic. The synthesizer sound connects well with Dimmu Borgir's symphonic aspect of their music. Even though the two are different from one another, there's still a connection there between them, and I think it's a song that allows you to see the more symphonic side of the band, or how this band influenced more of their symphonic side. So it's an interesting track, but definitely one that stands out in the crowd, because it's not a song that comes from the same metal background as, black metal by Venom, or Satan My Master by Bathory, or even Burn in Hell by Twisted Sister. So it's definitely a song that has some uniqueness to it, some specific elements to it. It still fits well because it allows you to feel like there's some ebbs and flows. The record is not linear throughout. It has songs that have some similarities to them, but then those songs have tracks that follow up and break that linearity, and then you start a new path afterwards. So it's a very interesting record. There is some cohesive nature to it, and I feel like that cohesive nature comes from the new approach to mastering these songs and putting them together under perhaps one single umbrella, and not having them feel and sound really segregated from one another. And that's important as well for the playability of the record itself, because when you sit down and you listen to from first to last, you want to feel like there's a sense of continuity. You want to feel like the sound has some balance to it, that the songs connect well, even though they're all different and they have all different backgrounds in terms of the original songs are concerned. But you still want to feel like things are connected and things are flowing. And taking a new approach to mastering these songs, putting them all together, definitely helps that. Definitely helps create a little bit of linearity and a little bit of balance throughout, and still allowing things to be dynamic at the exact same time. And then within that sound, you have a great guitar approach. I really like the guitar sound throughout. It doesn't matter what song you can pick, all of them have a sense of forward motion. They all have a sense of dark, really dark guitar sound, heavy at times, gritty, but always really dark. I think that's the thing that permeates the most, and the thing that has the biggest impact on the overall soundscape. There's also a lot of texture to the sound. It's not overly thin. It's an album that still sounds very robust, that these songs feel very robust, and not taking a very traditional approach, but rather having a little bit more substance within the sound itself. And that becomes also very clear from the get-go, that every song is going to have that sort of DNA fingerprint in it, and it works really well. Vocally super strong album, not that I wasn't expecting that to be the case. Very dynamic, and taking a slightly different approach with every single song, trying to give the track what the track needs, keeping in mind how the original sounded, how the original came across. So all of these things went into play. Some songs being a little bit more connected to the original material, where you see the Dimmu Borgir DNA shifting and merging into what the original song was like, and then there's certain tracks where the song has morphed and merged into Dimmu Borgir's DNA. So I think you're going to find a little bit of both on this record. You're going to find that song that feels a little bit closer to the original, where the band had to come closer to it, and then the songs where the original is far from where the song currently sounds in this format, and it was the song itself that moved towards the band. And this also creates dynamic. This also makes the record a lot more interesting, a lot more engaging. But I'm a fan of covers, so I love this record. And the fact that they put them all together under one single umbrella makes me love it even more. I think this is a great celebration of the band. 30 years is magnificent. I hope they have 30 more to come and more records down the line. This is a nice record to release at this point in time as a celebration standalone release. Now, as far as favorite songs on this release, I mentioned Dead Men Don't Rape. That is the one that stood out the most to me in terms of how different it was, and I honestly never heard of the original band, never heard of the original song until I checked out this cover. So that allowed me to go and check out a different band just to see where they were coming from and how this band could have influenced Dimmu Borgir. So that was a very interesting journey, me personally, an interesting journey for me to go down that rabbit hole. But as far as favorite songs, I have to start off with Black Metal, the opening track on this record, a Venom original, and I think this was the best possible opener. If you're Dimmu Borgir and you're putting an all covers record together and you have a Venom cover and it's Black Metal, that has to be the opening track. And this song is so rich, it's excellent, it's aggressive, it's intensive, it's heavy, rips through. The vocals add so much volume, thickness, and even darkness, because guitar-wise and sound-wise, it's more of a ripping track than it is a dark track, or at least the darkness doesn't linger. The darkness pushes you forward. So I felt like the vocals really help enhance and magnify that overall dark atmosphere that the song has, and it becomes a standout track as far as I'm concerned when it comes to this record. The one that follows is Satan My Master, a Bathory cover, and this continues in line. The two songs have a lot of similarities DNA-wise and sound-wise, so these tracks fall in line perfectly before Dead Men Don't Rape kind of breaks that linearity and then starts a brand new linear motion afterwards. But Satan My Master is a great song. The vocals are on point. The vocals sound phenomenal on this track, and keeping them a little bit deeper in the mix adds to that darkness, adds to that ruggedness that the song has, that the song needs. It's a very evil sounding song, and it's a very evil song when it comes to the lyrical content and the atmosphere that it puts forward. It's a A+ cover as far as I'm concerned. But to me, the best one, perhaps their most famous one, is Burn in Hell, a Twisted Sister cover, a song that even Dee Snider has said that more people think that it's Twisted Sister that's doing a cover when they perform this song than Dimmu Borgir. Everybody thinks this is a Dimmu Borgir original, or maybe not everybody, but a lot of people think that this is a Dimmu Borgir original. It's not, it's a Twisted Sister original, and they do a phenomenal job with this song. I actually think this is better than the original. It's darker, it's more menacing, it's more black metal. It has all the condiments that you need for what the original was putting forward as far as the lyrical content and the idea behind the song. So these guys took a track that had that ambiance, that had that atmosphere, that had that lyrical content that matches their persona, that matches their genre, and then they just changed the sound and they changed the DNA in order to really enhance all of those elements that were already there, but making it something completely different at the exact same time. I love this cover. I think it's a phenomenal cover. I think it's one of the best covers ever made of a black metal song into a black metal genre, or at least from more of a different, still a metal genre, but a different genre, bringing it into a more aggressive, extreme metal genre. I think it's phenomenally done, really well done, and definitely my favorite Dimmu Borgir cover of all time, Burn in Hell, a Twisted Sister original. This is it. This is the compilation celebrating 30 years of the band. Let me know your thoughts on it. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.